Hey everyone, Smoky Void from hookahpro.com and dirtcheaphookahs.com doing a setup video on how I set up my KM hookah, or Kalil Mamoon hookah. This isn't normal, this isn't like a traditional KM, as I've put a different base on it. This is a Sahara Smoke Nemesis base, and what I had to do was the grommet that came with this KM stem, which is a blue KM single pair. This is the grommet that came with it, and it was a little too thick to fit in this one, so I bought another type of grommet and put a little bit of had to put a little bit of black tape around the underside here. That way it'll make it just big enough to fit in there, where it's just snug enough it'll fit. Don't do that with water in it, by the way. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something different, so I'll speed up my my cooking time of the tobacco using this is a Social Smoke just mod bowl, and I'm going to go ahead and load my tobacco into it. This is a mixture of Jules Peach and Jules Strawberry, and you want it loosely packed, just pretty much just sitting in there. You don't want it, too full or anything like that, because you want the airflow to move around it pretty easily. Might be a little too much. Let's see. Yeah, I'll take just a little bit out. See, that's how I pack that. I don't know if you can see it or not. That's how I pack that. It's pretty loosely packed, and you can't really see any tobacco over the top of it. If it is, it's just a little bit. It's not going to hurt nothing. But anyway, I've got these pre-cut foils, which I got from dirtcheaphookahs.com. This says high quality aluminum foil for water pipe tobacco. And they're medium thickness. They're not super thick, they're not super thin. They're medium thickness. I prefer using these over regular aluminum foil, because sometimes aluminum foil, like regular aluminum foil, might have some chemicals on it or something like that. Like if you get like the stuff with the non-stick coating on it, I wouldn't suggest using that. That non-stick coating is pretty bad for you. Or like I said in another setup review or setup video, if you use like the last of the foil on the roll of foil, then you're likely to get some glue on there, and that's really unhealthy for you. But anyway,
it probably tastes like crap.
Probably. Bloody Matchbox is here with me hanging out. But basically, you just set your foil, get it on there nice and tight. Don't pull it too tight, because you might tear it. And like I said in my other setup video, I'll run my finger around the lip of the bowl to give it a little bit extra seal, and you want that nice and tight like a drum. And then you take your poker, and by the way, I've had a coal on the on a burner for a while. I'm using some Belgian Naturals. This is just the wrapper form. Belgian natural coals. I had it burning for a little while now, and it's ready. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'll show you guys how I put my holes. And this is just a little metal poker that Matchbox found for me. And I just use a little crisscross pattern. Pretty evenly spaced holes. Try to start in the middle, and then I just work my way out. And then I just speed it up for you guys here. Foil looks a little loose, but it'll be alright. It's not packed very deep. These holes look a little big, but they're alright. Anyway, that's about how I pack my hole. How I do my holes and my foil along like that. So, what I'm going to do, I've got the coal sitting in a little thing here to keep it from burning anything, although it is getting kind of hot. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is, I wouldn't suggest doing this unless you have it on a very sturdy surface, but I'm going to go ahead and take my coal and go ahead and just put it in my bowl like that while I'm finished setting up my hookah, so that this goes ahead and heats up and is ready by the time this is done too, and that way I can smoke it right away. Make sure that's on a nice steady surface, that way it's not going to be tipped over, knocked over, and you're not going to have your coal fall off and hit the ground and cause burning damage, fire things. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and fill this with water real quick, and I will be right back. Now that we've got water on our base, a good thing to do, I've been smoking out of this hookah for a while, so I pretty much know where I need to go with it. So it's water level's right about here, about, I don't know, maybe a quarter of the way up to the entire base. But what you probably want to do is figure out right about where you're going to need your water level. Put your stem right about where it's going to sit on the hookah, and this looks like it's going to sit right about here, you know. So you want your water level probably about here or so, just about here, about maybe half an inch to an inch up to the bottom of the downstem. Some people like more, some people like less. You can put ice in here; it'll actually cool your smoke down, make your clouds a little thicker. So I've heard. I don't know if that's true or not, but you know, I've had mixed results with that. But feel free to put ice in there, whatever. But another thing you can do is give it a test draw and see how well it pulls. If you get water in your mouth and you've got too much water in there, because that means you're going to get water up your hose, and that's not always a good thing if you don't have a washable hose. But here's the hose grommet. It's going to slide right in there. And I'm using a Namor hose. And it's going to go right there. Then I've got my bowl grommet, my coal tray, that's going to go right on top right there, bowl grommet, and the bowl. Be very careful with this because you don't want to knock that hot coal onto your hand or something. If you feel more comfortable, take the coal off, put it in your tray as such, and you can put the bowl on there, get it nice and snug. Put the coal back on. And it should be about good to go. It's been sitting there for a little while now. Let's try it out. My grommet doesn't want to seem to fit right now. There we go. It's actually a really good flavor. You can taste the strawberry and the peach combined, and it has a really good flavor to it. I see it's already got some nice clouds building up. Nice box, I'm gonna give it a try. But yeah, that's basically how I set up my KM. Sorry it seemed kind of rushed. If I missed anything, just hit me up and I will, you know, go back over it and help you guys out if you need any better help with it.
That is pretty good flavor.
But yeah, that's pretty much how I set up my KM. It's pretty much cut and dry, really simple. It's a little more simple than setting up a Chinese hookah because sometimes you can take the downstem off a Chinese hookah and you'd have to screw that back on or whatever. But it's pretty simple. I mean, this is one solid piece, so it's all right there, except for your tray, which is removable. But yeah, that is how I set up a Kalil Mamoon or KM hookah. And if you have any questions, hit me up. If I did good or bad, let me know. But yeah, we're gonna smoke on this for a while, and we're going to enjoy it because it's a pretty good flavor actually. Matchbox did the mixing and did a pretty good job.
Yay me.
Anyway, this has been Smokey Boy for hookahpro.com, ultimate source for everything hookah, and dirtcheaphookahs.com for where only thing dirt cheap is their prices, and they sell KMs, not exactly like this one, but they do sell KMs there. You should go by and check them out. But anyway, thanks for watching.